Today in this video we are going to see about medico-legal postmortem and their examination. This topic includes introduction, types and objectives of medico-legal autopsy and rules and preliminaries of medico-legal autopsy. First we see about the introduction. Autopsy means autos, that is self or view, which means to see for oneself. Necropsy means dead and view, is the most accurate term for the investigative dissection of the dead body, but the term autopsy is commonly used and is more popular. We also used the word postmortem, that is after death, which is the examination in the alternative term used but suffers from lack of precision about the extent of examination. In some countries, many bodies are disposed of after external examination without dissection. In such situation, the procedure is called as postmortem examination. Next, we are going to see about the types of autopsy. There are two types of autopsy. One is clinical autopsy and medico-legal autopsy. Clinical autopsy, which is done by medical practitioner or treating doctors with the consent of relatives to know the diagnosis or to confirm the diagnosis. Here the autopsy may be complete or partial depending upon the consent obtained for that particular part of the body. It is not done under legal obligation, therefore no requisition from police is required. For doing clinical autopsy, consent of relatives is must. Without consent, a doctor cannot proceed for clinical autopsy. Next is medico-legal autopsy. It is a scientific examination of a dead body which is carried out under the laws of state only on the requisition of a legal authority responsible for the investigation of sudden, suspicious or unnatural death. The legal authority is usually a police officer not below the rank of sub-inspector or an executive magistrate. Next, we are going to see about objectives for medico-legal autopsy, which includes identify the primary and contributing factors that led to the individual's death, which investigates whether the death was due to natural causes, accident, suicide or homicide, which we call it as a manner of death. Assess the postmortem interval, which is the time that has elapsed since death occurred. This information is crucial in forensic investigations. Document and analyze any injuries, wounds or trauma present on the body is particularly important in case of homicide or accidental deaths. Collect relevant biological samples, tissues, fluids and other evidence that may aid in the investigation, which includes samples for toxicology analysis, DNA testing and more. Medico-legal autopsy also confirms the identity of deceased through various means such as dental records, fingerprints, DNA analysis or other identification method. It is used to identify and rule out infectious diseases that may pose a public health risk or have implications for legal investigations. Next is rules for medico-legal autopsy, which is only performed by the proper legal authorization typically issued by a medical examiner. In some cases, informed consent from the deceased person families may be required depending on jurisdictions and circumstances. Second, thorough documentation of the autopsy process is essential, which includes maintaining a detailed chain of custody for all collected evidences to ensure its admissibility in court. Only qualified and authorized personnel such as forensic pathologists or medical examiners should conduct the autopsy. Their credentials and expertise play a crucial role in the reliability of the findings. Next is scene investigation. Before the autopsy, a thorough scene investigation may be necessary to collect additional information that could aid in determining the cause and manner of death. External examination involves the detailed inspection of the body for any signs of injury, trauma or natural disease. External findings may guide the subsequent internal examination. The internal examination involves the dissection of organs and tissues to identify pathological conditions, injuries or abnormalities. It provides crucial insights into the cause of death. Next one is toxicology testing, which is a sampling and testing of biological specimens for toxic substances are often performed to identify the presence of drugs, alcohol or other poisons that could be relevant to the case. Photographic documentation. Detailed photographic documentation of the body, injuries and internal organs is essential for creating a comprehensive record and aiding in court proceedings. The next examination is the histopathological examination. The tissue samples may be collected for histopathological examination under a microscope to identify microscopic abnormalities that may not be visible during the gross examination. A comprehensive and detailed autopsy report should be prepared, including findings, conclusions and opinions. The report is a critical document for legal proceedings. Autopsy findings are sensitive information and maintaining confidentiality is crucial. Information should only be disclosed to authorized individuals or entities. These are the rules for medico-legal autopsy. That's all about the today's video's topic. In the next video, we will see about the requirements for autopsy and examination. Thank you for watching.